you don't want nobody to know who you are.
I'll show my face. Like, I don't have a problem showing my face. I don't have a problem.
That's what I'm talking about.
I don't have a problem showing my face, alright? I don't got a problem showing my face. Because I'm here to show my support. And like, what you saying is unfortunate that you feel like that. Because we black and brown, we should be united together. We black and brown, we got the same fights. We got the same struggles here. And you talking about we got to be divided. That's unfortunate for you.
When I was protesting out here in 2020 with Black Lives Matter, I ain't see you out there. I ain't see him out there.
You ain't see me?
No, I didn't. I didn't see you out there. Yeah. You wasn't out there. My name is Big Mike. I've been all through these streets when we had Occupy City Hall right over here, and when we took over all the bridges. I didn't see you. I didn't see him. I didn't see none of these people that got their face covered or they holding up signs. But y'all want us to support y'all now and say, guess what? Our struggle is your struggle. That's not true. Don't try to compare your struggle to my people's struggle. Because guess what? We built this country right here.
So then we.
No.
We're the right now? We're the artists, we're the backbone of America.
You're probably not even 30 years old yet. Alright? So you don't even know, you ain't even lived life yet. I'm 50 years old. I know what I'm talking about. And I know what I went through.
You know about the civil rights?
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 50 and verse 33, it reads, "Thus saith the Lord, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go." All right, and in this scripture, all right, the children of Israel represents the northern kingdom, all right, which is the so-called Latinos, you know what I'm saying, Native Americans, all right, Puerto Ricans, so on and so forth, all right. And then the children of Judah represents the so-called Negros, all right, Jamaicans and Haitians. And it says we were all oppressed together, all right, took as slaves, all right, because it goes on to say and held captives, all right, and oppressed together, all right, and that's right here in this land, all right. But you know, as you can see, the hate between the tribes on the 2/3 level is still there, all right, and ultimately, you know, the Lord is gonna kill both parties, you know what I mean? Y'all over there arguing over some bullshit, all right. But before I continue, I'd like to start out by giving all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruach HaKodesh, double honors to the apostles, the elder bishops, and the elders. Great millstone who teaches 100% truth. Excuse me. Peace and salutations to the Lord's elect that be in the house of David. All right, today is June the 17th, year 2025, the hopeful year of our deliverance. All right, the I represents the so-called Negros, Latinos, and Native Americans through the seed of our fathers. All right, on this side, the elect is only slaughtered for salvation and deliverance. All right, as well as judgment and destruction to the so-called self-proclaimed white nations. They're not white, they're red. According to the Bible, they're the Edomites. All right, but this lesson in particular is going to be dealing with, you know what I'm saying, again, the enmity between, you know what I'm saying, Judah and Ephraim. All right, Judah represents the southern kingdom. All right, Ephraim represents the northern kingdom. All right, and as you can see, all right, the division between them, all right, once, don't either one of them want to give each other credit for being slaves, ultimately. You know what I'm saying? They bragging about some shit, you know what I'm saying, about basically just being some, who's the better slave, who produced the most as far as captivity goes. That's how I take this shit. All right, because that's what you niggas is bragging about, building up Esau kingdom. All right, and the Lord is going to burn this man's kingdom in 1 hour. All right, so while you two individuals out there, you know what I'm saying, having a back and forth about who's done what and who's doing the most, you know what I'm saying, the Lord going to wipe away all of this shit. You know what I'm saying, and you niggas going to get wiped away with it. All right, because that's just the spirit. All right, that 2/3 of our people in, they in this spirit of healing Babylon. All right, you know, they don't even know they're oppressed together by the same devil. All right, and on some level they do know it, but still, anyway, a lot of these niggas, Southern Kingdom, so-called Negros, Haitians, and Jamaicans. All right, you have this belief that, you know what I'm saying, the Northern Kingdom weren't put into captivity and weren't put into slavery as you were, all right, and you're sadly mistaken, you know. And the Northern Kingdom has a point about you know, they were here first. They came over here before. All right, the Northern Kingdom was brought over here, And Esau oppressed them first. Let me get it right quick. When he came over here, all right. You know, Esau was putting hell on the southern kingdom all the way going back to the Roman captivity, all right. Even in the Greek captivity, you know what I'm saying? After Alexander died, you know, and the rest of his generals ported the land and all that, you know, Jake started being Hellenized all the way back then, southern kingdom, because the northern kingdom had already, you know what I'm saying, done this right here. The majority of them, you know, it was a small remnant that probably was back still in the land, but this is when the northern kingdom came over here, all right. After the Assyrian captivity, all right. So right before the southern kingdom went into captivity under the Babylonians, all right. The southern kingdom was already in captivity under the Assyrians. They got kicked out of the land, all right. After Solomon died, I'm saying Rehoboam had the southern kingdom, Jeroboam had the northern kingdom, and they was kicked out of the land first and went into slavery under the Assyrians. But following that, let's read this. This is 2 Ezra 13, starting at verse 40. It says, those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoner out of their own land in the time of Osiah the king, whom Salamazar, the king of Assyria, led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, and so they came into another land. All right. Continue. Verse 41, but they took this counsel among themselves that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelled. All right, because you got to understand, we was all together, all right, under David, you know, and Solomon. So the Solomon was sending the Hamites over here to America to bring back resources, and you know, whatever he desired, he would send them over here through their navy to come over here and bring those things back. But it was no human life dwelling here at this time. All right, so let's continue. Verse 42. And the northern kingdom knew this. All right, it says that they might keep their statutes which they never kept in their own land, because again they got kicked out of the Holy Land first, and they entered into Euphrates by the narrow places of the river. For the Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, then showed signs for them and held still the flood till they were passed over. All right, so it was prophecy that they was going to come over here the way they came over here, and they came over here on ships. All right, we just read it. They entered the Euphrates, so they built ships and came over here. All right, and they knew the route to get here, you know what I'm saying, again, from you know what I'm saying, when Solomon was sending them Hamites over here to bring things back, all right, to our kingdom. Verse 45, it says, for through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half, and the same region is called Arsarit. All right, so that was the name of this land. All right, and they knew it was going the timeline, it took a year and a half to get there and a year and a half to get back. So basically, you know, like 3 years. All right, and they knew this. All right, and you got to understand also, part of the tribes, the Northern Kingdom's gift, I think it's Issachar, if I'm correct, like astrologers, you know what I'm saying, like they can read the stars and all of that, you know, that's one of their gifts as far as the tribes go, all right? And those are your so-called Latinos, Hispanics, Mexicans today, all right? So they came over here. So let me continue. Then they dwelt there until the latter time, and now when they shall begin to come. All right, and they've been over here this whole entire time, all the way up to now. All right, but again, the devil, all right, the Edomites, you know, after the Roman Empire fell, the wicked Roman Empire fell, Esau got pushed up into the mountains for 1,000 years. All right, the Caucasus Mountains, Georgia, Russia. All right, and then he came back through the rebirth. All right, the Lord took Jake down, because the Southern Kingdom was ruling Rome at that time. All right, ruling all of that. You know, you had the 5 good emperors. All right, which were Israelites. All right, of course they had been Hellenized and they was under Roman customs and shit, but they were Israelites. You know, and then the Lord brought the bubonic plagues and all the different things upon, all right, us, and then He uplifted them, and they, you know what know what I'm saying, reestablish themselves in the rebirth, all right, the Renaissance, all right, the rebirth of Edom, all right, into power, all right. And after they, you know what I'm saying, got where they needed to get, they eventually came over here to the Americas, all right, and took the Northern Kingdom down, all right. And then, you know, once they subdued the Northern Kingdom, then they went looking for the Southern Kingdom, and they knew exactly where to find the Southern Kingdom, all right, on the west coast of Africa, all right, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, but the majority of the Southern Kingdom was, you know, right out there that way. And, you know, the Ishmaelites, all right, the Sand niggas, all right, and them Hamites helped Esau, you know what I'm saying, gather us up and bring us over here, all right, to where, you know, we fulfill prophecy as Jeremiah 50:33, being oppressed together, all right, Southern Kingdom and Northern Kingdom, oppressed together, just like in ancient Egypt. We were oppressed together in this Egypt, all right? That's why America is known as spiritual Sodom and Egypt. Let me read that right quick. Revelation chapter 11 and verse 8. It reads, "And their dead bodies," the dead bodies was us, as Israelites, all right? "But the elect have awakened." All right, the life has come back into the elect, all right? You know what I'm saying? After those 3.5 days being you know what I'm saying, asleep, 350 years to be exact, you know what I'm saying? You know, the elect is being awakened, but the 2/3 are still the dead bodies, all right? Shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord, Yahushua, was crucified, all right? Because, again, during the rebirth of Esau, he did what's called iconoclasm, all right? He took down all the true depictions of the Lord and put himself up. All right, First Maccabees chapter 3 and verse 48 tell you how they laid open the book of the law and sought to paint the likeness of their own images. All right, whitewashed, redwashed, you know what I'm saying, everything, all right, destroyed all of the, you know what I'm saying, the artifacts. But, you know what I'm saying, not too long ago, was it like 2 years ago? All right, Putin, all right, the bear, the president of Russia, he opened up the vault and showed, you know what I'm saying, all of the images that they had hidden away. And you clearly see, all right, that the world knows that this image of Jesus is not it. All right, but 2/3 of our people, you know what I'm saying, especially the Northern Kingdom, all right, they've been taken by that image, all right, you know. Man. And that's why they gotta die, you know. They believe in that image. All right, they raise their children to, you know, wanna look like that image, you know. And then they hate each other. All right. But that's why the Lord is only coming back for the elect. All right, He's coming back to get, you know what I'm saying, the house of David. All right, which is gonna be governed by, you know what I'm saying, 12,000 from each tribe. All right. You know, Yahushua's governors are going to be 12,000 from each tribe, all right? And the innumerable multitude is going to be men, women, and children from each tribe, all right? So these niggas that's out there fighting amongst themselves now, they represent the house of Saul, all right? And they're gonna be destroyed. Job 12 and 16, with him is strength and wisdom. The deceived and the deceiver are his, all right? And that's why the Lord has his elect, all right, doing what they doing, and he has, you know what I'm saying, the rest doing what they doing. All right, you 2/3, you going down to Egypt for help, all right, you at each other's throat. Esau is gonna eventually, you know what I'm saying, come down on both parties, all right? Because these niggas think they gonna get away, all right? You Southern Kingdom niggas think you gonna get away, all right? But it's not gonna happen. All right. I'll read this in Ezekiel 21 right quick. I'm gonna get ready and close it too. I ain't gotta make it that long. All right, this is Ezekiel 21, jumping down to verse 8. It reads, "And again, the word of the Lord, Yahushua, came unto me, saying, Son of man, prophesy and say, Thus saith the Lord, Yahushua, say a sword is sharpened and also furbished." All right, that sword is the ICBM missile, but Esau is gonna get on you niggas before that. All right, it say it is sharpened to make a sore slaughter. it is furbished that it may glitter. Should we then make mirth? It contemneth the rod of my son, as every tree, and he had given it to be furbished that it may be handled. This sword is sharpened and is furbished to give it into the hand of the slayer. All right, Esau. All right, Esau gonna come down with holy hell on Jake physically first. All right, but you know what I'm saying, in the end, these ICBM missiles is gonna drop down. All right, and burn these 2/3 up. All right. Let me see verse 12. Cry in hell, son of man, for it shall be upon my people. It shall be upon all the princes of Israel. Terrors by reason of the sword shall be upon my people. Smite therefore upon thy thigh. All right, and the Lord is bringing Jacob's trouble first. All right. And then he's going to bring, you know what I'm saying, the second death, which is that fire. This is Daniel. Well, let me read Daniel 12:1 first. Then I do Daniel 12:10, and I close it. This is Daniel 12:1. This is going into Jacob's trouble, where we are right now. All right, while the southern kingdom is mocking the northern kingdom, all right, they just don't know. All right, Esau is coming for them next. All right, he's gonna sack both of them. All right, it says in that Daniel chapter 12 and verse 1, and at that time Michael shall stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. All right, Michael is the archangel under Yahushua. All right, it says, and there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation. All right, Jacob's trouble. Worst time ever known to mankind. Even to that same time, and at that time, thy people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book, all right? And only the elect is written in the book, all right? Those are the exempt spirits from the foundation of the earth, all right? Slotted for salvation, exempt from this judgment. Verse 10, jumping down to Daniel 12:10, many shall be purified and made white and tried, but the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand, all right? And that's why, you know what I'm saying, them niggas out there arguing about who built America just for, you know what I'm saying, niggas to be here to watch it get burnt down, right? Because it's definitely going to get burnt down, all right? And it ain't a lot of time left before it happens, all right? All right, so, you know, again, Esau's getting ready to come down with holy hell on all of the tribes, all right? Revelation chapter 12 and verse 12, tell you, woe unto the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil has come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that they have a short time, all right? Esau's coming with his charagma, all right, which is really the Lord's charagma, but Esau's going to enforce it, all right? If you take it, you know, it's a death sentence, all right? All right, so that's it. So all honor, glory, and praise go to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the elder bishops, and the elders of the great millstone who teach us 100% truth. Peace and salutations to the Lord's elect. Kwam Yasharallah, the Bible Ball. Shalom.